Greetings, whiskey folk, and welcome back to Drinking Out Loud. And yes, it is time for number 4 of our Strath 20th anniversary bottlings. Brett's back in the house.
Hi.
And yeah. So I think it's fair to say that of all of our releases for this year's anniversary celebration, this is the least expected.
Yep, I would definitely say so.
So, I mean, started off, of course, with the Ben Romer, which was somewhat expected, seeing as we did one last year. And then Loch Lomond, which I've gone at lengths to say that is probably my desert island distillery because I love all of the variation that you get out of those guys.
Yep. Shocking, but
fans.
not quite unexpected.
And really commonly seen in the independent market and somewhat commonly seen, in some places at least, for their official single cask program, which ours was a part of, the Rinfian. Then up third, somewhat less shocking that we had, it was going to happen eventually, that we had an Ardmore, because being Ardmore.
You kind of had to do it.
Yeah, and it was probably going to be a Gordon MacPhail, because me and Gordon MacPhail.
Yeah, really Gordon MacPhail.
Yeah. This one, though, a single cask exclusive Amrut. Yeah, I'm amazed that we managed to make this happen. And it kind of only really happened because the ambassador and master distiller of Amrut, Mr. Ashok, he kind of just made it work. This, in theory, should have never happened, but in a hotel room during the Victoria Whisky Festival, we had a little bit of a meeting, a little bit of a sampling, and well, I fell in love with this cask, and so did some of my team who were lucky enough to try it after me. And yeah, we managed to just push it through all of the red tape, all of the things that would normally stop us from getting a whiskey like this, including the price. We made that work quite well too. And it's here. It may have taken 11 months.
Yeah. This is by far our most awaited of the releases.
Yeah. To put it into context, this was bottled all the way back in March and was conceived of back in January.
Yeah.
The next one, which is releasing next week, don't go too far. You'll be back in this seat again in a couple of days.
Oh no, whatever will I do?
Our next one is actually being bottled like tomorrow, I think.
Yep. Not far to travel.
Yeah.
Nice,
which it's going to be a fun one.
Not like this one, which traveled quite a ways.
Yeah. So Amrut, of course, is India. I'm not a huge, I'm not hugely knowledgeable about Indian geography, to be honest. But if you look on the back here, I believe it actually says where it's from. It doesn't on the tube.
No,
maybe it does on the bottle. Oh, it's a sense up front. It says here Bangalore, which I believe is Bangalore in the English pronunciation of it, and it's from Kambipura, and I'm sure it's a very lovely place. I've never been. I don't know anything about it. From the videos that I've shot with Ashok here on this channel, I've only really seen the inside of a room, but it was a lovely looking room. I love Indian sort of culture, and I love the Indian way of doing things, especially when it comes to food and drink. They just throw themselves at it. They put in full flavor. They find the rules. They break the rules. They follow the rules. They do whatever they want with the rules, but they know them, and don't let them kid you otherwise. They know the rules.
Yep.
And it's a really funny place for whiskey, especially because I think it's 7 out of 10 or 6 of the top 10 best-selling whiskey brands on the planet are actually Indian whiskies made for the Indian market, which you can't get anywhere else. And for the most part, most of them wouldn't be allowed to be called whiskey anywhere else in the world. Yep. A lot of Indian whiskey is actually, a lot of it's made with sugarcane, I think. Yep. They just add a bit of whiskey to it for flavoring. But Amrut was one of the first to come along and say, you know what, we're going to do this the traditional Scottish way. We're going to do a full, proper single malt whiskey in a proper full-size copper pot still, only malted barley, doing everything by the book, and we're going to show up the Scots at their own game. And that's exactly what they did. They took their wares to Scotland and they put it in a blind tasting, and everyone was absolutely absolutely shocked. Flabbergasted that this whiskey that was beating things like Macallan and Balvenie in blind tastings comes from India. And they've taken that reputation, they've run with it, and they've produced some absolutely incredible whiskies.
Yeah.
I think one of the reasons that I really wanted to do this whiskey is one of my favourite whiskies. I don't know if you were here at the time, actually. One of my favourite whiskies that we've ever had in the Dram Association was a peated port pipe from Amrut. I think it might have been before your time.
This was before my time. Yeah.
Absolutely wonderful whiskey. Came in at a great price point as well. And we sold a lot of it and shocked a lot of people with how good... Actually, one sec.
Oh, my goodness.
I think, there it is.
It's right here.
Hiding behind some Catalan.
Oh, my goodness.
There you go. This was the inspiration. Do you want to try it?
I would love to.
Yeah, all right. We'll get a second set of glasses out then. I'm shocked that I actually still have this. It was bottled in February 2016. I kept a little bit for records.
I feel like I may have had a splash of this at your house at one point.
Potentially. It's often hard to remember splashes of things at my house, though, understandably.
Correct.
So the thing with this is it's Amrut's peated expression, so all of the barley is actually Scottish, or at least most of the barley. I'm not entirely sure if it's all of it. And it's from, I think Baird's Maltings.
Yeah.
Which if it is, I think that's the same one that produces the malted barley for Ardmore. Mm-hmm. And also our upcoming single cask from America. Ooh, you heard it first.
It's a full-on nose on this puppy. I like it.
Right. And this was outstanding. And one of the things that got a lot of people is 59% ABV, and 660 bottles from the port pipe. And it was, 5 years old. And it, blew people away. Myself included. Big, peaty, black currants.
That's astounding.
Right? It's honestly one of the whiskies that really got me interested in world whiskey. And I say that as someone that used to work at a distillery in Australia. I should have been interested a lot earlier than that, I guess. Yeah. But exploring whiskies from around the world and not just the places you'd typically expect whiskey to be from has become something I really enjoy doing now. And this was the pinnacle for a long time for me of how good an international world whiskey could be.
Red vines and baking spice and big, round, full-bodied flavor.
Right. Hopefully we're not getting your mouth watering too much, because this is long gone. You can't get this anymore, I'm very sorry. Hopefully some of you at home still have some of your own bottle, because I know we sold a lot to people in Victoria. But, like I said, that was the inspiration for this. So, this is kind of beautiful, isn't it? I love that purple.
That's
special limited edition, Ex Oloroso. And it's actually got our logo in gold, which is a nice little touch.
Oh,
yeah, it's in gold foil, which is pretty cool.
fantastic.
I wasn't expecting that, so thanks, Ashok.
Yeah.
And also while I'm thanking Ashok, I should also, of course, thank the importer. Thank you, TS Global. Thank you, Zoe, for making all this happen. We are humbled by the work that you have both put in to get this whiskey to our club here.
Thank you.
Yeah. Should we read the box?
Yeah, no, please.
Amrut Indian Single Malt Whiskey, Special Limited Edition. This exclusive bottling of Amrut Indian Single Malt Whiskey offers the connoisseur the rare opportunity to sample this treasure of India. It is non-chill filtered and comes straight from the barrel in its natural colour, which is important because you're about to see said natural colour. Mm-hmm. There it is.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if you've watched any of the recent releases. James from Authentic got me onto doing this new thing. Apparently, all the kids are doing something called yeeting, and it's very popular. Where I'm started to just toss the tubes behind me because we don't need them anymore. You want to yeet a tube?
But it's so pretty.
It is, but we have 300 more, I believe.
Oh, nice.
Oh, it comes with a little neck tag too. That's cute. Cool. So this is number 4 in our 20th anniversary single cask releases.
4 of... pardon me. Sorry. 4 or 5.
So yeah, we teased there might be a 6th or 7th, but they're looking like January. That's the plan.
Yeah. Still theoretically in our 20th anniversary year.
True, because we didn't actually open until December.
Yeah.
Cask 3,897, for whatever that means. Lightly peated barley. So again, this is the peated malted barley from Scotland. Ex Oloroso cask. Now, this is the truly interesting bit. It's cask strength, single cask. One of exactly 300 bottles coming out of this sherry butt. Which I believe it is a butt, which means that a lot of evaporation preparation there. Lost to the Angels, and seeing as Amrut literally has a release called the Greedy Angels, it's well known how greedy they are down there. Came in at exactly 60% ABV, which is kind of cool. Amrut has this fear of non-round numbers, it seems. They like to bottle things when they reach an exact number, or they just, I think... over here, I think it's 0.3% that you're allowed to be off at bottling. It's probably not quite that precise in India, so it's like, it's 61.5. Let's just call it 60. I don't know if that's actually the case, but it wouldn't surprise me. And that's fine. We don't really need to care exactly how alcoholic this is. Around 60 sounds great.
Perfect.
But it is cask strength. Date of filling, July 2015. Date of bottling, March 2023.
Oh,
See, we even got the Angels chiming in from somewhere around here.
fantastic.
That means that this is almost 8 years. This is 7 and about 3/4, I think, a quick napkin math, somewhere around there. It's over 7 years old, which is, wow. For an Amrut, that is one of the oldest I've ever had the pleasure of tasting. I think the only thing older we've ever seen here is the Master Distiller's Reserve, which is currently behind our counter. It's a $400 bottle. It's done in XPX casks. It's outstanding. So this is particularly special to have the opportunity to get a whole cask of something this well-aged and well-aged in such a good cask as well, and using peated barley. It's just everything about this makes me salivate.
Yeah.
Just a little bit. Would you like to do the honor of the opening, Brett?
You know what? I would be honored.
Oh, by the way, this is a limited edition t-shirt, which is not actually available to purchase, that I created celebrating Brett's promotion earlier this year.
It's great.
Any Zelda fans out there will recognize that it's also Brett of the Wild. Yeah. Legend of Strath, Brett of the Wild. All right. So I have to admit, I have had this a little more recently than January, partially because I got to keep the sample file. But also because our little pre-arrival case that we cracked into already, because it's still in pre-order, did get open for a very special Companions of the Quake tasting for the West Shore.
Oh, fantastic.
So some people have already tried this in Victoria, very, very few. Almost chocolatey on the nose today.
Oh, wow. Very rich.
Yeah. So the peat is much, much lower in this, especially after trying the peated pork pipe. The peat, it says lightly peated, and it is. And that's good, honestly, because you don't want too many big flavors battling for attention. And you've already got the big flavor of Amrut single malt with its big tropical notes battling with that Oloroso. A third Titan in the matchup would make it a little bit, maybe a bit too crazy.
I'm getting marshmallows on it.
Marshmallows, yeah, s'mores.
Bit of graham cracker, yeah.
But there's this tropical fruit like guava kind of a note.
Yep.
Passion fruit, maybe. Like a small pavlova.
Passion fruit's so hard for me to always find when it comes to tasting notes.
Well, it's not a particularly common flavor over here, is it?
No.
It's very common in Australia.
It's a very light flavor over here, where you don't get that huge, big tropical bomb that you would normally find. But it's very common in a lot of like IPAs and what have you. But
hop characteristics, certainly.
Wow, what a...
It's cool, isn't it? It feels like opulent, like majestic almost on the nose.
Yeah.
It feels like a medieval feast. Like it's got all of those flavors that you shouldn't necessarily get in, if you've got a medieval castle in the UK, you wouldn't expect big tropical fruits. But for a certain period, they were being imported from the Far East. And it's kind of wild. It feels wrong, but right.
It's like lightly candied apple.
It's like out of time and place. It's been snatched from somewhere else.
Yeah. All right. Going for it.
All right. I'm making sure Brett does it first. Make sure this bottle's not poisoned. Oh, yeah. You good?
Outstanding.
The peat is so much more there on the palate, but it's not smoke. It's a rolling earthiness. It's what's that note that they use in cognacs? It's found in Springbank as well. It's like that, like dusty old cabin note. I think I actually have it written down on a page here for some reason. Because I'm about to talk about a cognac in a upcoming video. When you hear me talk about Hein very shortly, you'll hear me use the word rancio. Yeah, there we go. Rancio.
Yeah, there you go.
Thank you, notebook. I should always have a notebook handy. Yeah, it's got that rancio kind of flavour.
Yeah, it definitely has. It has a distinguished taste. Whether that be kind of that rancio kind of style or that the age influence, and I know it's not an ancient whiskey by any means, but
it very much is by Indian standards.
Yeah, but
like I said, like most Amruts are 4 or 3.
Well, I mean, I assume that the heat in India has a lot to do with that advanced maturation and everything else, but it's got such a well-rounded palate. It's astounding.
From what I understand, Bangalore is substantially warmer and even more humid than where I used to work in Melbourne. We used to lose like up to 15% some years of the cask. Oof. So there's not much left. And that's why I say I think this is actually from a sherry butt, which would normally harbour like 600 bottles.
600 bottles.
The fact that there's 300 is kind of wild. Nice.
Opulent. It's an opulent whiskey.
Opulent's a great word for it. Yeah. Yeah. Medieval opulence. That might actually be my my nickname for this one. Yeah. Cool.
Oh, that's exquisite.
So
it's a shame we have to charge so much for it.
I know. I should mention that we, like I said, we did get a really, really good price on this. By all means, this is worth $400 or $500. But in celebration of our anniversary, we really all sharpened our pencils on this one.
Oh yeah.
You can get this when it releases on our shelf for $217.30, and that's Canadian dollars for any international watchers out there. So any Americans are thinking, that's quite inexpensive for American dollars.
Yeah.
So, of course, it's still on pre-order at the time this video is launching. So if you're lucky enough to catch this in the next few days after it goes live on YouTube, you can get 15% off pre-order price, as we've been doing for every one of these 20th anniversary bottlings. And that brings it to $184.70.
It's an astounding whiskey for any of those price points, to be honest.
Frankly, this is an astounding whiskey for $350.
Yeah.
The problem is, we couldn't possibly have sold a whole cask of this for $350 because it doesn't have the big brand name recognition and everything that it deserves. So this is us introducing a whole new suite of whiskey drinkers, hopefully, to a fantastic distillery that they might not have ever had before.
Yeah, it is well worth it. The experimentation.
Yeah.
It's gorgeous.
It really is bloody good. I feel slightly bad that like 3 of the 4 single malts that we've released in this series have been peated and sherry casks. But we have a type, I guess.
I know that's probably my favorite genre of whiskey. And since I'm manager now, that's where we're going.
Keep it going?
Yeah, that's
all
it.
right. Well, next up, next year, no, we don't. Actually, well, the next one is a sherry cask.
Yeah.
There is more sherry to be had this year.
Oh, it's so
next week. Yeah, outstanding. Yeah. I'm really happy with that. At some point, you will be able to sample this. I know for a fact that you will be able to sample it at the very latest at the Victoria Whisky Festival at my tasting, the Strath single cask tasting, which was originally intended to be a showcase of the 5 single casks that we've got this year, and has accidentally become more of a preview of what we've got to come, because we're getting new things and samples. So just because you've bought every single cask so far this year doesn't mean you shouldn't come to my tasting at the festival. If there's any tickets left, I'm not entirely sure, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm not sure either.
But you'll find out soon, because in a matter of days, the leftover Whisky Festival tickets, they have been put into preset packages, and you will be able to buy them on our website, strathliquor.com, and where you can also, of course, pick up this bottle. And this is launching on Monday. This is launching on Monday the 27th. So if you do place in a pre-order, you can pick it up at 10 a.m. Monday 27th at the earliest, and any deliveries through Canada Post or local will go out accordingly. So I'm just so happy that we have a single cask Amrut.
Yeah.
It feels so unlikely.
The penultimate bottle in our series. And yet again, another wonderful showing. So
Yeah.
thank you.
Cheers, Brett.
Cheers.
And let us know in the comments if you pick one of these up and if you enjoy it. But also, I'd love to hear what your favourite world whiskey distillery is as well. If it's Amrut, that's fantastic. Let us know in the comments. But if you have another one that maybe I've not even heard of, because there are literally hundreds, let us know. Drop us a comment. I'd love to hear from you.
Yep.
All right. And seeing as I do this once a year, like and subscribe. Hey, why not?
Oh,
Yeah.
And ring that bell.
Ring the bell. There's a bell to ring. Nice.
Yeah.
I'm always afraid of ringing bells. I rung one once in a bar in Belgium and found out that you have to buy everyone around if you do that.
Yep.
It cost me a lot of money.
Yep.
But ring the bell. Do it. All right. Slanch of see you on the next one.
Pros.